It's about, they're going about 120.
We're inside a police surveillance operation in Peel, just west of Toronto.
She burns a red. Won't be able to catch up here.
Investigators are closing in on a couple they say are connected to the region's exploding auto thefts. What's happening here reveals a huge shift in what happens to cars after they're stolen. All right, this is stolen from?
Canada.
From Canada?
Yes.
Less than a year ago, we were in West Africa locating vehicles stolen from Canada and sent abroad. What can I see? There's the original Quebec license plate. Back then, most stolen cars were exported, but that's changing. As thieves have moved to armed home invasions to seize keys, they're also increasingly keeping stolen vehicles in Canada.
So these are a bunch of stolen recovered vehicles that we've pulled off the road.
These are pretty high value here.
Yeah, like you're sitting here, you're looking at, close to $1 million worth of cars.
Detective Sergeant Greg O'Connor runs Peel Regional Police's auto theft team. These are just some of the hundreds of stolen vehicles they've recovered. And increasingly, thieves have manipulated this 17-digit code. It's what's known as re-vinning. The vehicle identification number, or VIN, is unique to each vehicle. If it's stolen, the VIN is flagged. But criminals are replacing that VIN, harvesting one from a vehicle, similar vehicle that's been totaled, or maybe one that's actually registered in another province or U.S. state. Now, how can that be? Well, it turns out government registration systems, they don't talk to one another. Police, like Peel's deputy chief, Nick Milinovich, say that has to change.
The reality is this is a national issue. And that's why a national registry that moves itself beyond any sort of provincial jurisdiction is important in all capacities.
So this is the replacement for the stolen vehicle.
Yeah, I went and bought my own.
Derek Crocker spent $60,000 on what turned out to be a re-vinned vehicle, buying from a place you might be surprised at. At a dealership.
Yeah.
Turns out it was stolen?
It was stolen. And the whole reason you buy it from dealership is so you don't have to worry about dealing with that sort of thing, right?
This was that truck for sale in the dealer's lot. From the get-go, there were little tells. The app to remotely start the vehicle never worked.
It was telling me my gas mileage was different, all sorts of things. It was telling me the vehicle's in a different location.
Derek figured it was just a malfunction until he was in an accident. The body shop used the VIN on his dash to order parts, but those parts wouldn't fit. That's when Derek turned detective.
So I Googled the VIN number that was on my truck, and I found a truck for sale in Utah.
A second Ford F-150 with the same VIN. Turns out the VIN on his own truck had been replaced by criminals. The truck then sold to the dealership that Derek bought from. It's crazy.
It was crazy. I would never expect that.
There are a lot of people who have suddenly discovering they are driving re-vinned vehicles, stolen vehicles.
Yeah.
And insurance does not cover the loss. Derek had to fight for his money back from the dealer. The criminals, meanwhile, made thousands.
The market is so lucrative, it's so easy. Cash is king.
Peel Police invited us on this surveillance operation to spotlight how re-vinning is booming.
We're seeing younger and younger kids doing this, unfortunately, being recruited and pushed into this. Gangs is a massive problem.
O'Connor's undercover team is staking out a house now. There's a green car.
Yeah, I see it.
Car. Watching for their male suspect, so we have to keep our distance. Would I be right that his purported role is that he is taking a vehicle that is known to be stolen and essentially cleaning it, turning it into a vehicle that looks like it's never been stolen?
Yeah, so he's a cleaner in that aspect.
Shit clean, boy.
Police allege the man they're tracking has been selling stolen cars with forged VINs and say his Instagram is full of car buyer testimonials.
Man got me this new Jetta. I'm pretty stoked.
I called up Milton. I told him I got my money up. I need plates. I need a car. And he got it just like that.
You give me your cash, you got your car, you on the road. You ain't gotta go to Service Ontario. You don't gotta do no running around.
After hours of waiting, the man emerges.
He just closed the trunk of the SUV and now back in the house.
Detectives pursue discreetly. They don't want to blow their months-long investigation. Passing by them at intersections, that's the suspects there at the red light.
They're right by the big water tower on the R side.
Officers take turns following,
So they're right here at the intersection, getting ready to go.
so that the suspects, a man in this silver car and a woman companion in the green one, don't get tipped off. Both vehicles pull into a Costco gas station. That's when we get our first look at the man.
It looks like they're lining up for the pumps here. I'm gonna have to work.
As both vehicles leave, investigators believe they may be about to catch them in the act.
He's pushing off. This guy's moving fast.
So there's two Service Ontarios up here, right by Airport
There's
Road.
a Service Ontario up at Chrysler, southbound on the 410.
Court documents allege the man re-vinned dozens of vehicles, exploiting a provision at Service Ontario allowing a person who's neither the vehicle owner nor purchaser to register a change in ownership, all as auto theft losses continue to grow.
In 2023, which was last year, Ontario alone is expected to be over $1 billion. So that gives you an idea of the scope.
Police believe their suspect is heading to Service Ontario now, but worry the pair may split up, so choose to make a move on them.
That's them right there.
We drive past just as officers surround their suspects. The man, 24-year-old Milton Hilton, faces 168 charges for trafficking stolen cars and passing fraudulent documents. He was released after a night in jail. Nothing has yet been proven in court. We've been talking about auto theft for months and months and months. There's federal money, provincial money, there's a lot more arrests. Are things getting better?
We're not going to rest our way out of this issue. There's a lot more talk and a lot more people that are coming forward and wanting to stop this. But right now, it's a massive issue, a big problem.